Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria Montefusco and I'm a lover of all things when it comes to makeup, and today I'm going to be giving you all a demo slash like third impressions kind of video. And so I'm actually going to be playing with a palette that I recently got in the mail, and this is the Natasha Denona Zendo palette. So I ordered this from Natasha Denona's website. I actually got 20% off of this, which was super nice. There was a coupon code that I was able to use, and I actually got this delivered to me pretty early on. I think it was supposed to release like the 10th, and I actually got it delivered to me on the 9th. So I feel like I got this pretty early. I have used this palette twice now, so today is going to be the third time that I'm using it. So I do have some thoughts. I also want to do two different looks on my eyes, one using more of like the blues and the greens, and then one using more of the warm toned neutrals. So if you're interested in seeing a demo of this palette, hearing my thoughts, all that kind of stuff, then please keep on watching. All right, so as always, I always prime my lids before going into eyeshadow. So I like the Milani eyeshadow primer, so I apply this all over my lids, and then we will start playing with some mattes. All right, so my eyelids are primed, and in case you're not aware, this is what the palette looks like. So we have some blues, some greens, and a lot of warm tone neutrals. So I think on my right eye, I'm going to play with the blues and greens, and on my left eye, I'm gonna play with some of those warm tone neutrals. So first, I'm going to go into the shade Breath. This is this very, very light minty green, and I'm gonna go into my Refer number 15, and I'm just gonna put that in the inner part of my crease on my right eye. So this is one of the shades that I was actually kind of having trouble with. I think it's a cream to powder, and so it's a bit of a different texture. I just feel like it can look a little bit chalky on my eye, which I think you'll see here. And it's just, I don't know, this is not my favorite shade. I'm not sure if it's the primer I'm using, if it's just the shade does just not like me, or if other people have been having this issues. I've been purposefully not watching people's review on this palette. So let me know if other people have been having issues with this one, because I've been having issues with this shade. I'm just trying to pack it on and blend the edges just a little bit. Okay, I think that looks good. So next, I'm going to take my Nabla N306 and I'm going to go into Zeal, which is this browny, greeny kind of shade on the bottom corner there. I'm going to be very, very light-handed and just put that on the other part of my crease. So I'm actually replicating a look that I did the first time I used this palette, so keep that in mind. So I know what this look is supposed to look like. We're just going to blend it a little bit into that mint, and then fluff out the edges a little bit, just like that. I'm now going to go into my Nabla number 1 brush, and I'm going to go into Mantra, which is that dark green on the first row. This is also a cream to powder, but I feel like this one does perform a lot better than the mint green that I just used. So just put that on the outer corner. These shades are pretty powdery, so I would say do your eyes first, use some bake if you don't do your eyes first, and no matter what you do, make sure to tap off your brush, because some of these cream to powder ones are a little bit crumbly, and I find that this dark green is one of them, and I don't think you want dark green fall out all over your face. At least I don't. And I'm going to go back into my Refer number 15 to blend that out. Beautiful. So that is the first eye with the blue and the green mattes. It's not done yet by any means. I of course have to add shimmers, but I am going to go into the mattes on my left eye. So first off, I'm going to go into Relief, which is this very, very light pink, again in the inner part of my crease. I'm going to use my Refer number 16 brush. I feel like this shade does perform better than that mint green. Just a lot easier to use and blend. And I think this is a traditional powder shadow, so that may be why. I'm just not used to using cream to powders, to be honest. All right, and then I'm gonna go into Balance, which is this mid-toned brown on the first row. Again, with my Nabla N306, and just dust that very lightly on the outer part of the crease, and blend that a little bit into the pink. And I'm now gonna go into that red shade called Vigor, and I'm going to use my Refer number 2 brush to do that. This is gonna go in my outer corner. And I'm gonna blend that out with my Refer number 16. And then I'm gonna go into my Nabla N204. We're gonna go into that dark brown cream to powder called Mindful in the first row, and also put that a little bit on the outer corner just to deepen up that red ever so slightly. And tap in that red a little bit more and blend it out again. That looks good. All right. So since we're done with mattes, I'm gonna be going into metallics on my lid now. So I always use glitter glue, Too Faced glitter glue, very thin layer of this on my lids. Makes the metallics have something to stick to, make them more intense, and also just makes them last longer, at least on my eyes. So I'm gonna apply this glitter glue really quickly off camera, and then we will talk metallics. Okay, glitter glue is on, so we have to work fast before it dries. So on my right eye, I'm going to go into Equilibrium, which is this dark blue, and then Flow, which is that lighter blue. And then on my left eye, I'm going to go into Tranquil and Sense, which are these 2 shades down below. All right, so that's it for the upper part of my lids. I'm going to dust off the bake, and then I will show you what I'm gonna put on my lower lash line as well as my inner corner. So on my right eye, I'm going to go into Zeal again, which is that dark brownish greenish color, and just put that on my lower lash line with my Refer number 13 brush. And on my other eye, I actually think I'm gonna go into the shade Calm, which is a cream to powder, and I'm going to go into N205 for that one. Beautiful. And then for both eyes, I'm going to go into the shade Yama on the bottom row, and I'm gonna put that in my inner corner. I would call this shade like a peach to green duochrome. So I do think it goes well with both looks, and the fact that they have the same inner corner, I think ties the looks together. So this is the completed eye looks with all the eyeshadows. I'm going to apply some eyeliner and mascara off camera, and then I will give you my thoughts on this palette and close out the video. All right, so this is the completed look with eyeliner and mascara and also some lip gloss. So overall, I do like the Zendo palette. Like I said, I haven't really watched like any reviews on this, but from what I've seen, it does, and what I've heard, it does seem like this palette does have mixed reviews, and I can kind of agree with that. I think that Breath, which is that minty green shade, I think that that shade is far from perfect. I think it's a bit crumbly in the pan. I think that it doesn't apply the way I like my pastels to apply on my lid, and it's just a bit, I don't want to say patchy, but it's just a bit difficult to work with. I also think that that Calm shade, which is also a cream to powder, a little bit difficult to work with. It's fine on the lower lash line, but I did use it in the crease one day, and it's, again, has that sort of same issue that Breath has as well. But I do like Natasha Denona's metallics in here. I think it's the same great formula. I think the mattes are great as always. I think the other cream to powders, which are that dark green that I used on my right eye and that dark brown that I used on my left eye, I think those are good shades. So I do think this is a nice palette. Today I used all but 2 of the shades in the palette on my eyes. I have used those other 2 shades in other looks that I've done with the palette, so I do have fully fledged thoughts on this, and I do think it's a nice palette. This is my second midi size, so the $65 size Natasha Denona palette, and I also have one mini palette from her, but I don't own any of the like expensive $129 palettes. So this is, I have a limited experience with the Natasha Denona formula, and I'm not a collector by any means, so my opinion may differ from some die-hard Natasha Denona fans, but I do think this palette is really workable. I really like the color story. I think it's really pretty, and I do think you can make some really nice looks out of it. But from what I've seen other people say as well, it does seem like this palette does have a lot of repeat shades from some other palettes. So if you are a die-hard Natasha Denona collector, I don't think you need the Zendo palette just because a lot of the colors are similar. But if you're like me, you're relatively new to Natasha Denona, you're not a collector, you want something that has these kinds of shades in them, I do think this is a really good option, and I do think the eye looks that you could turn out are also really pretty. So those are my thoughts. I hope that is helpful, and with that, I think I'm going to close out the video here. So if you like this video, please like this video. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm. If you like me, please subscribe. I would love to have you all here. I post 3 times a week about beauty, makeup, fragrance, all that fun kind of stuff. And if you have anything to comment down below, if you have this palette and you have some thoughts that are similar to mine, different than mine, let me know. If you're a Natasha Denona collector and you want to give your opinion on that kind of thing too, let me know. I like interacting with you all, hearing your comments, seeing your comments, all of that. So with that, thank you for spending a little part of your day with me, and I will see you all next time. Bye.